Last year I went bay fishing in Port Aransas with my father-in-law, Pastor Bobby, and our uncle Oscar. And because they're really old guys, we had to get everywhere we were going 45 minutes, an hour early. And so we got there very early in the morning. It's like 6 a.m. The thing doesn't even open for a long time. And we're sitting there killing time. And it's like, well, what do you do? Well, let's go get some Mexican breakfast, right? And so we found this place and we're sitting down to eat. And I ordered 2 breakfast tacos. And I'm not exaggerating, guys. When they brought the plate out to me, one taco, it was the biggest breakfast taco I've ever seen. Like there had to be 4 eggs and 3 sausages with some papas in there. I mean, this thing was huge. And so I scarfed that thing and drank a bunch of coffee and took the other one into go box. And I'm really full. Finally, we get onto the boat. The guy takes us out and it was the worst fishing expedition I've ever been on because we just went bay fishing in the choppiest water he could possibly find. And almost nobody caught anything in the 2-3 hours that we were out there. And so maybe after 10 minutes of holding my pole and the boat's just going like this the whole time, and that breakfast taco is doing this inside of me, I'm feeling really sick after a few minutes, and I got to set my pole down, and I'm just laying down praying. My prayer life got very active that day. After about 2 hours in 4 different locations of choppy water where the boat's just doing like this, I finally had enough and I ran over to the stern and I let it all go. All right, I heave up every ounce of that taco and I fed many, many fish that day. And probably after about 3 solid minutes of throwing up, then Uncle Oscar decides it's his turn. And he runs up to me and he pushes me out of the way and he starts hacking it up. And I'm like, really, bro? This is like a 30-foot boat. You had to use this exact spot. Here's the question I'm wondering in our passage right now. It isn't just choppy water that Jonah and these sailors are experiencing. It is a massive storm. Like everybody on that boat is freaking out right now because of the dangerous situation. They all believe they're about to die. So my question is, how is Jonah sleeping through all this? Seriously, how does he do that? You know the times where I sleep really, really good. It's whenever I've been so tired after a huge long day of work, okay? My body is physically worn out. There's been a lot of mental stress. I'm taxed emotionally. And then whenever I finally get home, Allie makes me do a bunch of yard work. And finally at the end of the day, man, after a shower, I lay down and that bed is just so comfortable and I can relax and I can breathe a sigh of relief. Here's the dangerous thing about the position that our boy Jonah's in. He is fast asleep in the middle of the storm because he is comfortable in his rebellion. And guys, that's the most dangerous place that you can be in. You know, some of the hardest people I've ever counseled with are the ones who are so steeped in their sin that they refuse to see their sin whenever anyone tries to point it out to them, whether that's a mom or a dad, a teacher, a preacher, even a friend. Whenever you clearly point out, hey, what you did right here is wrong, but they're so blind to it, they think that you're just out to get them. I counsel over and over again with students who claim to be Christian about what the Bible says about things like sex and or dating and the direct implications that it has. And man, I've counseled with students over the years who are deep into illegal things like getting drunk or getting high. You can open up the Bible right in front of them and you can show them chapter and verse. Look at what God himself says about this very issue. And they're so comfortable in their sin that they have tuned out the sound of the waves crashing around and the thunder outside and the rocking of the boat around them. You see how one person's sin affects everybody around him. That's what's happening with Jonah. You got an entire ship full of people who are now at risk because of one guy who's disobeying God. God called Jonah, hey, go up here and do my will. Preach to the Ninevites. But Jonah went down to Joppa to go down into the boat to flee to Tarshish. And the 4th time that the text tells us that he is down, he is laid down to sleep. Throughout the Old Testament, man, going down is a Hebrew euphemism for death. It's showing a spiritual drift away. And now that he is down, drifting off to sleep, he is drifting away from God spiritually. And he was happy about it. He thought he was safe. And that's the most dangerous place you could ever be in, guys. Comfortably creeping towards spiritual death. What will a loving God do to you in that kind of situation? He'll send a storm your way.